G'day, it's Robbie again. Well, today we're going to have a look at a small reciprocating saw, a battery powered one that I got from Banggood to review, and yeah, I'm interested to have a look at it because reciprocating saws are one of the most useful things you can have in the shed. I've got a big full size one which is 240 volt, and it's a real workhorse. It's a real awesome thing. It gets used for cutting up all sorts of stuff. And the beauty of reciprocating saws is that they can get into tight spaces. They don't kick back on you like a chainsaw can. You know, those things you've got to watch them. They can be dangerous. And you can fit all sorts of blades in them, and I'll cut all sorts of stuff. I'll cut, you know, dry wood, green wood, metal, plastic, brick, ceramic, all sorts of stuff. You can't do that range of stuff with any other sort of saw, really. And yeah, they're super handy. Now the big heavy duty 240 volt ones, you need both hands to operate them. Now, I've looked at these little one-handed jobs for quite a while and thought, you know, they'd be handy in the garden, particularly for pruning and that. And I can't say I'm a big fan of those tiny little chainsaws. They look like an accident waiting to happen to me, but the reciprocating saw, I thought, yeah, that looks pretty good. Something the missus could use. So anyway, I said to Banggood, can you send me one of these to have a look at? So they did. What is it about? Well, here's a couple of screen grabs of what we're actually looking at. Okay, let's open the case and see what's in here. It's yeah, good weight. It's a fairly light duty case. I mean, it's really meant for home use, this thing, I think. But let's have a look inside. Oh, I've got some instructions. Ooh, it looks nice, doesn't it? It looks nice. And we've got a couple of battery packs here. Power share. No information on the size, and I couldn't see anything on their web page about the battery packs, but I'd say looking at those, they're probably 2 or 3 amp hour, good enough to get you through. There's 2 of them. You got those. You got a little charging adapter. Goes into 240 to charge them up, and they just use a bayonet mount, you know, bayonet connector. It's got the European socket on it, and that means that you would have to use an adapter to charge up your batteries. I've actually got one on the bench here. I use it for a few things. One of these things, they're cheap as chips, and you just buy them in your local electrical store. Probably only cost about $5, wouldn't be much. But there, they just go on, and then you're good to go. All right. So, this is the little unit. Wow. Bravo Bro. That's pretty cool. Now, on the website, it didn't have a name on it, really. It said lithium, like that. Yeah, it's quite a good weight. I mean, it fits the hand. Really good. Oh, it's got a lock on it here. Right. And I presume it's variable speed. I don't think it's said, but a lot of these are. We'll find out anyway. I'm pretty sure it's got brushes in it. For that, you know, sort of money, I don't think you get brushless. Once again, it doesn't say, but looking in the back, I can see it's got a wide armature, so yep, it's got brushes. That's all right. Now the early ones were all brushed anyway, and they went okay. The only thing you've got to be careful is you don't overheat them, because the brushless ones have automatic, most of them have automatic cutout, because they can do it because it has field windings, whereas these don't have field windings. So they just have a thermostatic switch in the field windings, but not with these. So you just got to be careful with them, you don't cook them. But yeah, I like the grip and the battery on it. Should be all right. Now, looking at all the brands, the well-known brands, they all make one of these. They vary a bit. Some have their little engine, electric motor going up this way, 90 degrees, and some have it this way. There's two of them have one on about a 45-degree angle like this. Another one has it coming back this way. And it's just a matter of which is the most comfortable. But that's not bad. Oh yeah, so it's got a metal blade lock, and it's got tabs on it, which is a good idea. My big one doesn't have tabs, so it's not as easy to turn as that. Good heavy shaft. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. That's fixed. Some of them have an adjustable rest, but this one is fixed. Most of them are fixed, but yeah, some they do adjust. There's a little light there, LED light. Overall, it's pretty impressive. It's not tinny, you know, like it looks quite good. Yeah, interesting. Now, I chose this one because it's got a Makita compatible battery, so if you're going to get one, I think it's a good idea to go that way. I mean, Banggood have a whole range of these, and you know, they're not all Makita compatible or not compatible with anything, most of them, because all the different brand names have their own batteries. They're not interchangeable, except where you can use an adapter. Sometimes you can do that, but this one at least is Makita style, Makita compatible. So if you've got other tools and they're Makita, well, you can share the batteries around, which is a good idea. All right, let's hook on a battery. I'll charge them up. We'll hook one on, and we'll see how this thing cuts. I mean, this is what we all want to see, isn't it? How well it cuts. So enough of the preamble. Let's get on with it. Right, well, the battery's on, and it clips on good and snug. No looseness. The balance is nice. We've got action. So it goes. So it's variable speed, as I thought. And I forgot to mention too, you get instructions that are just, they're English. It's all good English, but it's just a basic generic instruction manual for all these different sorts of tools. So have a read, nothing in there that's going to blow your mind or anything. So what's the usual stuff? So yeah, we'll get on with it. Before we do, I'll compare it in size to my big old one, and I'll show you the blades. Oh, you get some blades with this too. Now, where did I put those? Okay, we get some blades. I almost forgot those. We need blades. You get a good range. You get metal cutting one, a mark, metal, wood, 10 TPI, 6 TPI wood, so that would be for cured wood. And these two are 6 TPI, you would use those for green timber. Pruning, so they're a type of pruning blade. There is another type of pruning blade that I prefer over these, but yeah, these seem sharp enough. Yeah, they seem okay. Good length. You don't want them too long. If you get blades that are too long, what can happen is they can whip side to side at high revs, so that is a good length. That's about as long as you want to go, and it's pointless having a mile of blade anyway. But yeah, that's what can happen, so they look okay. All right, moving on. Size-wise, you can see how it compares to my big heavy-duty mains-powered reciprocating saw, and yeah, here it is. It's not that much smaller physically, but it's a lot lighter. This is a lot heavier, and the motor size, of course, is enormously bigger. So this has got probably 4 times the power of this thing at least. So, yeah, that's how they compare. So you can only expect it to do what it can do for the size, you know. Don't go thinking this will do the same as that. It couldn't possibly do it. But this will be more portable, handier, lighter to use, and yeah, a handy item. Okay, moving on. Right, well, the blades are generic, sort of a mount, and they just go in all the same. Just twist this little end, in she goes, let it go. She's locked in and ready to go. Easy as that. And to take it out, it's just the reverse, you just pull the lever, out she comes. So yeah, pretty much standardised these days. They never used to be. Years ago there were different mounts, but now it's all standard. Okay, we'll try it on a bit of timber. Alright, here's a bit of pine. We'll try it on this. Bit of junk. That was with a 10 TPI blade, no problem. So it handles pine okay. Okay, here's a bit of particle board, compressed board. Good. Piece of cake. Seems to have plenty of guts. It's, yeah, handle all that, no problem at all. Right, that was easy going. Now let's try some really hard stuff. This is really hard timber. This is decking timber. I'm not sure what the wood is, but yeah, it's super, super hard. And we use the same 6 TPI blade, because that would be the ideal size for that. And we'll give it a go. See what happens. Piece of cake. Yeah, it went well. That was easy. That is really tough going. Feeling it. Yeah, it feels nice and cool. So it's got a vent here, both sides, suction through there. But it seems to be running fairly cool. So far so good. Now this is the sort of stuff I think this is going to be most useful with. That's the sort of stuff you'd prune in your garden. We had a storm the other night and some limbs fell off. So this is probably about a week old, and we'll use the 6 TPI wood blade. We'll see how it goes. So this is, you know, this will be your gardening type situation. It's really sappy. It did it, but it struggled a bit with this blade. what happens is you get blade clog, you see. So these aren't really the ideal blade. I'll get a pruning blade and we'll give that a go. Right, well now this is the blade we just used, 6 TPI, and this is a pruning blade. You can see it's much different. This only cuts in one direction. It cuts on the pullback, whereas this cuts in both directions. And you can see how I had to move it through the cut because the teeth were clogging up. That's the whole problem with the soft, wet timber. If you're going to prune, you want as coarse a blade as possible. So this should be better. We'll try it and see how she goes. Piece of cake. Now that's the difference the proper blade makes. That's the blade you want. You can see moving it backwards and forwards, it cleans out all the cuttings and lets it cut properly. If you just hold it in like that, it's going to clog up because it can't get enough movement. This has only got a 10mm stroke, remember, whereas a full-size big heavy unit's got a much longer stroke. I think they're 20 or 30mm, I think. So yeah, cleaning the teeth out is the issue, but certainly power-wise, plenty of power, yeah, does that easily. Not applying any pressure at all, hardly. We'll try some metal. Alright, this is some 2mm walled square section. We've got their metal cutting blade, this 18 TPI. We'll give it a go. Yeah, no problem. How good's the teeth? Oh yeah, they still feel sharp. They didn't destroy themselves, so the blades are reasonable quality. Yeah, did that pretty well. We'll try some thinner walled stuff, but bigger section. Sort of steel they make furniture out of. Yep, once again, did it no problem. Yeah, barely warm. So, as a unit, it's pretty good. I mean, you know, you can't expect miracles, but it certainly cuts okay. There's a bit of slop in the, more than a bit of slop in the guide, and the stroke, you know, the shaft. As far as cutting goes, it doesn't seem to affect anything, but I'd like to see that tighter, really. But that's what you get. Seems to hold its position when it's cutting, but yeah, that could be better. Alright, I might take it outside and we'll do a bit of pruning. This is a bit of storm damage from the other night, so cut a bit of this up. There you have it. So what do I think of it? Well, it's a classic case of you get what you pay for, and in this case you get a home handyman tool that does a great job, but it's certainly not anywhere near industrial standard. That slop in the shaft is, I think, unacceptable. That should be better than that. I looked at all the other brand names that are available, the big brand names, similar items to this, and none of them had any slop in that shaft whatsoever. Zero. Nothing. So that's an area that this could definitely improve on. Performance-wise, it did good. It did great. It did everything the home handyman would want. And okay, this costs half as much as the industrial big brand names. But there's a reason for that. And something like that slop, if they would have fixed it up, it'd be a fantastic buy, because it performed very well. Battery life was really good. Never flattened the battery in the test, and I did quite a bit of cutting with it. So battery life seems quite good. Blades are good. It charged up one of the cells in about an hour and a half. So yeah, it's what you expect for the money, really. And what more can I say? I certainly wouldn't say don't buy it, but I'm saying that I can't say what the lifespan of this thing is going to be. It's certainly not going to be as long as a big brand name unit, but as I said, you're paying a lot less. So there you have it. The link to the product is in the video description, and yeah, it's worth considering. I expect it to probably go for quite a long time, but they could make it better without any real increase in cost, just by tightening up a few things. Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. Okay, I think that's a fair assessment, but it's a handy item. Okay, that's it for me. As usual, my videos are fair and square. I don't gild the lily. And there you have it. Okay, see you next time. Cheers.